Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in today. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be the 10 most hated maps in Call of Duty Zombies history. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into this. You know what I'm saying? It's just
We've been enjoying Call of Duty Zombies for over 10 years now, and whilst there's been a ton of maps we've loved, there's also been a few maps which the community has absolutely hated. So today, we're going to be looking at the 10 most hated maps in Call of Duty Zombies history.
For the top 10
if you agree
zombies
with
maps,
any of the 10 maps in this video, you need to click the like button to let me know, because as a fan of zombies, it's impossible for you to not agree with at least one of these points. And hey, if there's a map I didn't mention, let me know in the comment section below. And whilst you're down there,
and also, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that there isn't any chat.
We post a lot of awesome zombie videos.
I'm just going to be moving out to Pat in like a couple days.
Let's jump into things, but I want to make sure you guys are aware that this is not a personal list. This is a list with the general zombies community's opinion on these maps. So jumping in with the first one here, which is going to be absolutely no surprise to anyone, is Transit from Black Ops 2 Zombies. Coming off the back of blowing up the Earth inside of Black Ops 1 Zombies Moon, everyone was extremely excited to see what was next for zombies. Back in 2012, hearing the next Zombies map was going to be an open world experience sounded incredible, but of course it sounded too good to be true, and what we got was Transit. Now I've said on record a few times that despite Transit being a fundamentally flawed map, and there's absolutely no argument against it, nearly a decade since launch, it is a hell of a nostalgia trip and can be quite chaotically fun in co-op with friends.
I miss Transit.
This
honestly,
map is
like,
indeed extremely flawed. The map is absolutely
one of the worst,
gigantic,
but
and
dude,
it's so
I miss
big
that era
you
of
have
my
to use
life.
a bus to traverse across it. If you run out into any of the areas, you get attacked by denizens, which are the worst zombie types we've seen in a Treyarch map. You don't have to worry about traversing through fog. There's lava. You've got the Avogadro, which is just a terrible zombie boss that has no point. You've got the worst wonder weapon seen in any Treyarch Zombies map ever, and you've got a ridiculously short and stupid Easter egg with some terrible steps. This map had so much potential, which unfortunately was never going to reach due to it being on such weak hardware. But it's crazy that a map that was hated so much on launch and throughout the years has now become like a cult classic, and it's probably the most exciting map.
It's like so bad that people like
get remastered in a Zombie Chronicles 2.
It's kind of weird,
and it's
but
cool.
yeah,
the gameplay on Transit is just awful, and that's why it's hated so much. Next up on the list is going to be a pretty surprising one, since it's pretty recent, but this is going to be Alpha Omega for Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now this is a Nuketown remake that focuses on Nuketown, adds a load of stuff underground, and it's the quote-unquote Nuketown Zombies remake, which everyone has wanted since Black Ops 2. However, this map just did not hit in the way the community expected it to. The main focus of the map is that you have a computer called Rushmore, which you interact with and type in codes, and the map simply becomes keypad simulator as you're typing in codes every single round to try and do stuff, whether it's Easter egg steps or trying to activate other little parts of the map.
And there's a new Nuketown that I should be playing for y'all soon.
Tedious. And overall, the gameplay on Alpha Omega was just really sort of average. There was just nothing overly exciting or terrible about Alpha Omega, but in the game where we got some absolutely sensational maps like Ancient Evil 9, even Blood of the Dead to some extent, Alpha Omega was just pretty bland. Personally, I feel like the storyline on this map was absolutely sensational and was the best thing going for the map, but gameplay wise, it's cool that the Ray Gun Mark II returned with 4 elemental upgrades. It sounds like the stuff of dreams, but when you compare that to like the stars from Origins, this is just so forgettable, and I think that's why a lot of the community just don't like Alpha Omega. Some of you may disagree, however, and if so, I'd love to know in the comments below. Next up on the list, we're taking a trip back to 2018, the Darkest Shore from WW2 Zombies, and boy oh boy, this is absolutely one of the most hated zombies maps of all time.
I hate how people are like, dude, Call of the Dead's great. It's not this bad. It's not this bad. One of the main new zombie types, called the Moishler, was just absolutely horrible in this map. They have a lot more health than what you'd expect them to be, and they can appear out of literally anywhere at any given moment and even run away from you. The map has a pretty bland design. There's nothing overly memorable about this map, and considering this came after the Final Reich, which was a very good launch map with tons and tons of content and awesome features, this was a massive letdown. This map might have also set the record for being the map with the least amount of color I've ever seen. Like, the map is just gray and brown, and it's also really unbalanced in solo play. So yeah, overall not great. But coming in next on this list
is another WW2 map, and it is going to be the Tortured Path. Now, with this, Sledgehammer Games try to do something a little bit different and split this up into 3 separate mini-maps that overall break the gameplay down into 11 waves, where on waves 3, 6, and 9, you were tasked with completing a small random objective. And if you didn't do them, then your game would end. Now, going from a traditional round-based zombies map that we were getting to something like this, which is actually more akin to Outbreak that we've seen nowadays. This was even worse. 3 maps you got in here were really small, like didn't even feel like zombies maps. There was no mystery box function. Wall buys were completely randomized, and on top of all that, the worst thing about this map by far, which people hated, was the Easter egg quest on this, because it was so confusing having an experience split into 3 maps. People didn't know how exactly the Easter egg worked, and the only way to complete the Easter egg in this is to play in a public match where you have to play all 3 maps back to back, no pauses, no breaks, no nothing, completing all 3 successfully without failing in order to get the Easter egg ending cutscene and have the 3 separate maps unlocked as survival maps. I think Sledgehammer reverted this and made it so they unlocked for everyone by default, but this was just a seriously bad move back in the day. It just left a bad taste in people's mouths that they had to go through this much pain just to be able to play these maps as normal round-based maps.
And the sword wasn't even that good.
Very good. The first one was very similar in color and tone to what we got with the Darkest Shore, just minus the fog. The second one was on a boat, which had some really strange Easter egg steps, like following a floating fish. And the final one was basically precursor to the final DLC for that game, and the only map to have a truly unique and separate boss fight that we hadn't seen before. The Tortured Path is just so bland, it's so tedious, and a terrible execution at what seemed at the time to be a cool concept, but ended up being one of the most hated maps in zombies history. Coming up next was another terrible Treyarch Zombies map in Black Ops 2, and this is Die Rise. And I guarantee
you know what, we're glad it's here.
Johnny J25 is going to agree here. After the atrocity that was Transit, we were really expecting Treyarch to hit a home run here, and Die Rise just did not deliver whatsoever. I almost quit playing COD Zombies for many reasons, one of them being the fact that you can fall off this map so easily to your death in so many places. It's got a very complicated layout, far too complicated than what it needs to be. It takes a long time to set up and buy perks as you're waiting for them to appear in elevators. The Easter egg on this map, oh my god, don't get me started. It is atrocious. I don't know what happened in the Treyarch department with Transit and Die Rise when it came to making Easter egg quests, but they were just absolutely awful. Plus, it's not an overly exciting map to look at, but I'll always have fond memories of this map just because of how nostalgic it is, as well as the Slickify Wonder Weapon being so fun to use, and it's definitely a unique map. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a great map, and just like Transit, it has a lot of flaws, but it can still be seen as quite an iconic nostalgic map, even though it's just not very good, and that's why it's hated by a lot of the community. Now, it would be impossible to go on without mentioning this inside of this video, and this is Exo Zombies Infection or Burger Town. There is just so much wrong with this map, which is why it is one of the most hated maps in the community. I don't know what was going through Sledgehammer Games' minds when they made some of the mechanics in this map, but there are playable areas on the map that become unplayable because they get completely filled with gas, forcing you to spend most of your time in the dark, dingy sewer part of the map where you can easily get cornered and your game ended. There's also these escort rounds where you have to go find an AI and escort them through the map, and if you don't do that, then you get penalized with that area getting gas. Wonder Weapon on the map, the Megatron, is also pretty awful. Even the map design on this is pretty terrible as well. Lobby is the only positive thing that you remember about this map. The rest of it is just a horrible experience. I don't think there should ever be a mechanic again in zombies like this where an area becomes completely unplayable because you didn't escort an AI character across the map. This is round-based zombies we're playing here. This is not some weird single-player game that just has zombies thrown in for good measure. Sticking with Exo Zombies, this next map, which is hated by the community, is Exo Zombies Carrier, the following DLC map from Burger Town. And you think they would have learned from their mistakes, they would have made a better map. And in some ways, it's better than Burger Town, but it is still despised for many reasons. First being just the different amount of zombie types that you have introduced in this map, which are just awful. You've got these teleporting zombies, which just appear out of thin air. That's something that people didn't like, on top of the already disliked zombie zombie types like the EMZ zombies, but they also add EMZ dogs in this map. If escorting an AI wasn't bad enough, in this map they introduce a round where there are AI soldiers that shoot at you and you have to kill them all and disable a bomb search and destroy style. Now, never in zombies should there be an AI that can shoot back at you, and Treyarch have never made this mistake until Vanguard Zombies. Electronic Games committed this in back in 2015, and there's no reason 6 years later to add an AI that shoots at you. It just doesn't add up. And also the Easter egg on this map is incredibly strange. Like, it's just, again, weird. And the map adds no real replay value. All in all, it combines a pretty strange map layout with a ton of pretty awful mechanics, and that's why this map is hated so much in the zombies community. We've only got 3 more maps to go in this video, and we're going towards Infinite Warfare Zombies here with Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Now, Infinite Warfare was quite a polarizing game because it had quite a few zombies experiences that were absolutely A-star, and then there was a few which were absolutely F-tier. And Attack of the Radioactive Thing falls in that in the community's eyes because this map just went above and beyond being the most complex zombies map ever. There's just so much to it that it is overwhelming for most players. There's probably about 25 different parts that you need to pick up in order to craft certain things to do the main Easter egg quest, which in itself is absolutely relentless in some of its steps. And with the chemical step as well, oh my lord, that's going down as one of the hardest, most complicated Easter egg steps in Call of Duty Zombies history. It's got a pretty strange map layout, and the wonder weapon, the MAD, is just really weak. This map had some fantastic ideas going for it, but the execution of it was just pretty poor, which is why it's gone down in the community as a map which people just absolutely dislike. It's also up there with a few other maps for just having very strange aesthetics with the way that they played with the colors on this map. They went for a really desaturated and washed out look to kind of match the 60s and how film color was back then. It just didn't sit right with a majority of the zombies community. But a map that's hated probably even more so than Attack of the Radioactive Thing is Beast from Beyond, the final DLC map for Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now, this tried to bring back Extinction from Ghosts, which a lot of us were really excited to see. The execution was abysmal. This map also paired in a load of older zombie types from previous maps, such as the Kung Fu zombies from Shaolin Shuffle, which are the most frustrating zombies to fight against. These zombies can teleport to be right in front of you, just block your way and just one-hit down you. It's just not fun. The gameplay-wise for Beast from Beyond is pretty bland. It's got a very odd map layout, which people didn't appreciate. And the boss fight as well. All you do is just fight a wave of cryptid rhinos. Don't get it twisted. What happens afterwards with the Mephistopheles boss fight, the super Easter egg with Director's Cut, is absolutely amazing and the only real saving grace of the Beast from Beyond. Like, there is no one that doesn't like Director's Cut. It is one of the best features we've ever seen in zombies. But it's a real shame that you have to go through the Beast from Beyond in order to unlock it. What should have been a completely incredible Extinction Zombies crossover ended up being a map forgotten, littered with bad gameplay decisions, awful zombie types which can insta-kill you in the cheapest ways possible, and what felt like a really lazy boss fight. Coming in as the final map and potentially the #1 ranked map for this video, even though we're not ranking them, gonna be none other than Der Anfang. I mean, what other map could it have been to make it here as the worst hated map in zombies history?
That's fair.
A month and a bit since the launch of this map, and I feel
like, yeah, it's fair,
we're gonna get in Vanguard Zombies. It's gonna continually get updates with new areas, and it's still gonna be ranked as the worst zombies map ever. This map does absolutely nothing to try and enhance any of the strengths that we've gotten from zombies, be it round-based or Outbreak. It has the most boring gameplay loop that we've seen from any zombies map ever. Play this map once to about round 10 and you've seen absolutely everything this map has to offer. Complete an objective, open a new area, drink a perk, go open another area, drink another perk.
I'm glad John's making this video.
Never hit the mystery box because there's nothing good in it. Go complete the main Easter. Oh wait, there isn't one. It is just the most soulless, lifeless map we've ever had in Treyarch history. It looks amazing. The backstory sounds genuinely amazing, and they're setting up a great story here. But unfortunately, as great as that all is, if the gameplay and the map is terrible, then it's not going to stand a chance. You might have had some terrible Treyarch maps over the years, like Transit and Darise, but at least you can play these maps and have some sort of fun. You go play Der Anfang and you're bored out of your mind. I just don't know how they created such a dumbed down, boring boring map. Or even casual players would get bored of this. There's just no replay value there whatsoever.
So sad,
but maybe myself and you can watch back on this video in like 9 to 12 months time where they might have done some drastic changes and updates.
We've
and
been saying that, but it's like, has anything
but I'll be
actually
very surprised if that happens.
That's
That
what
about
I'm
wraps it up,
wondering.
ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, spare a second to drop a thumbs up.
video,
It
John.
really
Honestly,
helps out the
I
channel, and
think these are
especially in this time where
probably
YouTube is just in a
some of the
very weird
worst
spot. It'd be
maps,
greatly appreciated to get
hey,
this video
we'll
out
see.
there.
Ladies
Check
and
another
gentlemen, that's
my videos out on screen right now, and I'll catch you for another
shout
one
out to
very
John. Go check out that, man. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see y'all homies in that next one.